Hi, I'm Mon.
And I'm Chris.
And this is our 1984 Toyota Hi-Ace named Huey. Welcome to Mon and Chris's first vlog.
And van tour.
So this is our newest member of the family, Huey, a 1984 Toyota Hi-Ace. But he's not that new to the family. We've had him for about 3.5, 4 years.
Yeah.
4 years. But yeah, we've done him up the last 1.5 years to his beautiful facelift. So when we first got Huey, he was completely kitted out still to the original 1984 layout. We travelled around in that for about 2 years until we finally decided that the bed was too small.
It was built for garden gnomes.
Yes, people were very short back then, I'm guessing, because I had to be chopped off at the ankles and Chris had to be chopped off at the knees to fit in the bed.
Yeah, it wasn't working.
No, it wasn't working, and we wanted to do it up originally only for weekends away and weeks away and going to festivals. So it originally wasn't meant to be a lap around Australia van. We began doing Huey up, and then in hit COVID. So our couple week away van turned into a lap around Australia van because we no longer could go overseas.
But we do have a beautiful backyard in Australia, so why not check it out?
Yeah, exactly. So we'll give you a little show of Huey. So first up we have our kitchen, and it is a space that I'm really proud of because I personally designed all this. It took a long time to sort of figure out spaces and drawers, how to build a drawer, how to build cupboards. But yeah, so the first part is our slide out kitchen. So we have here two 600mm lockable sliding rails so you just push them down and they come out like so. And we have our stove. So this is just a 2-burner and grill stove from Tent World online. We really wanted a grill function because in the old build it had it, and we found it so handy for toast, nachos, pizzas and stuff like that. So again, super handy, probably like our favorite part of the stove. Underneath this I found we had a little bit of extra space, so I added this part. It's such a handy little slide out kitchen bench. We use it mainly for coffees and sort of like breakfast items, or if someone's chopped up all the veggies inside, we can bring them out here ready to throw into the pot and pan. I know, it's so great. Another thing I really wanted was a sort of a space for oils and also a herb and spice rack. So I got my oils and stuff here. So again, super handy for cooking. How we did this is basically everything here was sort of the structure for the kitchen. I just put a backing on it, painted it white, and then here I drilled just holes straight into the back, and this is actually one continuous piece of bungee cord. So I just bought some white bungee cord offline, did a big knot on one side, threaded it through, down, threaded it through and back again, tied it off, and perfect. Holds everything in there. So we come to the inside of the kitchen. What we've got here, we have our cutlery, bowls and cups. Down here is all of our pots and pans and everything, and then here we actually have access to the stove from the inside. So we can have the stove, if the stove slid in, we can pull this down, bring it up and pop it on the top of the kitchen, which is super handy if it's raining or anything like that. Then over here we sort of have a bits and bobs cabinet. In here we have is sort of his pantry items, and down the bottom here again is another pantry item space. And then across here, I don't know if you can really see it, but across here we have another cabinet where this is sort of all of our cleaning products, spare towels and everything like that. Sorry, spare hand towels. And then on the other side we have our slide out bin. We have built it all basically with a pine structure, and then used melamine for everything else, and then just based it all off with routed ply. All that done, we have decided on the leather look handles. These are all just, everything in here is basically from Bunnings, unless I say otherwise, but these have worked really, really well. We didn't want to have any hard based handles just because we knew the kitchen was going to be such a small space. We wanted to make sure it was basically shin friendly. We didn't want to be knocking hip bones or shins into anything and hurting ourselves. Next we have is our beautiful bench top. So Chris did a really great job at cutting out the sink for me. I really love the whole under-mounted sink look. It just makes it so much easier for cleanup. You can just wipe everything straight into the sink and not have to worry about any lips or edges. All of this is just I think it's the most basic bench top that you can get from Bunnings, and we've just stained and varnished it with food safe varnish. This took a lot of days and it's still not as good as we wanted it to be, of sanding it, varnishing it, sanding it, varnishing it. It is such a fine skill to have to be able to do it perfectly, but we've done our best. Next thing we have is all these little gold hooks. We just got these all again from Bunnings. These work really well for hanging up all of our dishcloths and scrubbers, and they hang straight over the sink, which is really handy for when we're driving around. We know that any wet stuff is just dripping straight into the sink. We turned one of them upside down and we have used that for our chopping board / cheese board. It just slides straight in there and holds it perfectly for when we're driving around. Again, really good for when it needs to be dried. It's right next to the sink and any moisture just goes straight in there. Now, onto one of our most complimented parts of the van is our tap. I love the look of gold taps, and when I originally started looking, all the ones I could find were around $200 to $300, $600, and I was like, wow, that is so expensive. This one we just got off of eBay. It cost me, I'm pretty sure, under $100. So happy with it. It does everything we want it to do. It turns around. It is a mixer tap, but we've only got cold water in the van. So on the one side we have instant cold water that comes from a pump just underneath the sink. So I think that's a, 6 litre pump? Yeah, it's a 6 litre pump that pumps in from our water tank, which is underneath the van. We have a 40 litre water tank under there. Goes through to a 6 litre pump, comes up to our tap, and also a tap on the outside, which we'll show you later. Next thing is, as I said before, I really wanted to have a spice rack and an oil rack. So we have here our 2 little spice racks. I basically went through, figured out all of our most used spices and bought 12. I bought 12 little spice jars off Amazon. Figured out, and then once I got them, I built the spice rack around them. They have worked so perfectly. They're literally everything that we need, everything that we use. And yeah, so happy with how it's turned out. This was like one of the last things that we did in the build, and it is perfect. Another thing is our fruit basket. This one I saw right at the start of the build on Temple and Webster, and I just needed it. It has worked amazingly. Up the top here, we've just mounted it with a saddle, just with a conduit saddle that I've spray painted gold. It's worked really well because it allows it to sort of just move around a bit. When the pop top is down, it just sits nicely on the bed so it doesn't move anyway. But yeah, it's just great. Next up we have is the fridge. So under this beautiful counter here, lift it up and we have our fridge under the counter. This comes up and normally holds on the magnetic strip. It is not playing the game today though, that's fine. So yeah, under here we have the fridge. It works so well. We really wanted a esky, there we go, an esky top fridge. It just means that instead of a normal fridge, like open door fridge, we were worried that everything was going to fall out of us. full out at us, and also we wanted to have less things opening into the walkway because it's already such a small walkway. This has worked really, really well. We can stack it up, fill it up. It actually holds quite a few days worth of food. I think it holds for us about 4 to 5 days. We don't eat meat, so we don't really need any meat stored in here. All that can just go in the cupboards. So all like cans, chickpeas, beans, lentils, all of that sort of stuff just goes in the cupboards. So that's super, super handy. We haven't had any issues with things getting hot in here. So with the fridge getting too hot, if we do find that the heat in it's building up a little bit, we just open this side window, and that gives it all the ventilation that it needs as it's open on the side, on the back here. But yeah, that is our gorgeous little kitchen.
Alrighty, so we've got an extra little bit of shoe storage here. So it's just where we keep our waterproof sort of stuff, like thongs and stuff like that. Next thing we've got, probably the most handy thing that we've got in the van, is just a floor mat here. So once you kick your shoes off and you're covered in a bunch of red dirt because you're in the Northern Territory, just come in here and wipe your feet off before you get in. And you don't drag it all in the van with you. So next is our wardrobes. So it's not a walk-in like you'd have at home, unfortunately, but it's enough for what we need. So they just live under the bed, just on some slides, and just pull them out. Mine's a bit of a mess, sorry mum, but yeah, plenty of storage here. Bit of an aftermarket add-on that we had to throw in was a couple of magnets down here. So I suppose anyone that's driven in a van before, or work van or anything like that, things tend to fly open when you slam the brakes on. These are no different. Unfortunately, the magnets didn't have the desired effect. They still tend to fly open if we're putting the brakes on, especially from high speeds. So probably could have went with like a locking draw slide or something like that. Probably would have been more effective, but you live and learn. So that's the wardrobe. Alrighty, so as Monique mentioned, this was previously designed for garden gnomes, dwarfs and other small creatures. Definitely not us by any stretch. So yeah, we basically tore it out and we've put a full-size double bed in here. So I think this is just a koala mattress. It's pretty good. I normally have a rough time sleeping, so pretty important that we get a nice restful sleep, or we're not going to really enjoy ourselves on the road. So now that we've got a double bed in here, we had a little bit of extra storage on the side, try to make some use of the space. So we've got up the front, we've got a little compartment there just for dirty clothes and that sort of stuff. That way it's not just, you know, floating around in the cabin somewhere. So it's actually got somewhere to go, which is nice. The next one back is, as most young people do, we have a absolute shitload of electronics. So laptops, speakers, projectors, phone cables, that of the like. So that can all live in there. We've got a couple of USB ports and a cigarette port in there as well. So we can charge our stuff in there, go to bed at night, can just plug your phone in, just toss it straight in the drawer, and everything's away. So that's really neat. Up the back here, we've got a bunch of other stuff. We've got like books, cards, a bit of miscellaneous stuff, but mainly just stuff for downtime and things that we'd like to access easily, so that you can just be laying in bed and then just reach over and grab it. It's there, easy. On top of that, so it also just doubles as a little bedside table. So if Monique's feeling nice and she's made me coffee in bed, yeah, I can just put my coffee on the side there. You can just have a little cup or bottle there at night and stuff too, so it's really handy. So originally we had this whole wall here bare. I think we did a couple of little trips in it with nothing there, and all of our toiletries just used to live in this back drawer here. But after a while we just got sick of, I guess, diving in there looking for stuff, putting your hand nice and deep just looking for a toothbrush or something like that. So just like you would at home, we've got a little bit of a toiletry cabinet, just opens from the top down, supported by a couple of chains here. It's got all of our stuff there, like toothbrushes, toothpaste, deodorant, shampoo, face wash, all that sort of jazz. So it's pretty handy. It's also at like a 90-degree angle, so it's perfect for just putting a laptop on if either of us needs to do a bit of work on a laptop, working on a vlog or something like that. So it's just here, it's a nice easy space to use. And then coming from the top down, we've got a little mirror that's mounted to the roof. So I don't know if you can see that there, but you can make sure that you're nice and beautiful. Nice and beautiful in the mirror. And then when you're done with it, it just telescopes back up. A couple of magnets on the roof, and she's stored away. Just as easy as that. So while we're looking at the roof, we've got, again, this used to be nice and bare, but then we realised, as most van lifers do, you just need to make the most of the space that you've got. And so this was perfect, and he just came up with the idea of putting a couple of saddles from side to side, stringing a bit of bungee through it, and then that's a nice storage spot for our towels, jumpers, spare pillowcases and sheets and stuff like that. Just keeps them out of a drawer and keeps them nice and accessible as well. So one of the luxuries that we couldn't go without on the road is a bit of Netflix, a bit of cheeky Netflix and chill. So what we've got here is a handy dandy projector. So this is a Nebula Capsule 1, so first generation. Basically you just hook it up to a security camera mount that Monique found. Come up to the roof here and screw him in, point him at the front, and away we go. So you can't just project it on a thin air, so what we've got up the front here, guys, is a projector screen. So it's not actually a projector screen because they cost a fair bit of money, but I think Monique just got this from Spotlight, and it was I think like $30. It's actually just a blind, so, but it's nice and wide. Projector goes onto it perfectly, so happy days.
So now to the back of the van. First thing I'll go over is our beautiful curtains. So with these ones, just take these little straps off. I just got these from Etsy. They're great. They go with the handles, just turn around twice and they click together. So when I got these made, originally there was no magnets in the seams, and I got those added additionally, maybe after, I think we only went on one trip, and I went back with magnets and said, can you please sew these into the seams for me? But they work so well now. Originally the curtains would sort of just hang here when we tried to close them, but now with these two magnets in the sides, they hold on nicely. And same thing with the other side, just come here to close. And then there are also magnets down the middle that hold them shut. The only thing I would like additionally is maybe some magnets up a little bit higher, so it holds them closed from a bit higher, but beggars can't be choosers. It works fine and it's great. So yeah, we have those there. Now down to our drawers. So our drawers are massive. I think the slides are about 1.6 meters long. They're locking ones. We just here put two hole saws, cut it out. So we have our little tabs inside there. These straps are actually real leather. I think Bunnings must have changed to faux leather later on. So they actually are a bit sturdier. I really wouldn't suggest using the new ones from Bunnings as they're fake leather. They have a lot more stretch to them. They would not do well with how much weight is in these back drawers. But yeah, so pull them out and there we go. We have, I think there's about, I think it's 1.6, maybe 1.5 meters of storage in here. So it holds it perfectly. Two camping chairs, a fold-up camping table, our jumpers, snorkeling gear, yoga mats, the fabric for our awning, our little toilet seat that we just got to say that we're fully self-sustainable, and an extra solar blanket. And then, so they're locked out, that won't go back in until I press these back down and push it in. Now we have these two extra little storage spots on the sides. This one here is literally just a shove and shoe area. We wanted somewhere for our shoes. We have a fair few of them, probably way too many. We literally just live in our 2 pairs of main sandals each and our waterproof sandals, and then in here we have like our joggers, some boots and stuff like that. Originally we thought we were going to be in a lot colder country, so we have packed for that, but now we've completely changed our route and we're in hot NT. Now down the other side we have, it actually goes a lot further along underneath all that side storage, and that's where we keep our umbrella. We also fit in there our soft esky, picnic blanket, hammock. That all just shoves in there, and that's worked really, really well. Another couple of things that we have in here is our towel rack that I got from Bunnings. We learned all these from doing little trips away before we left properly, and we learnt so much doing that. We learnt that we needed somewhere to put our towels. We were sort of just hanging everything off hooks inside, and that's still great for when we're driving, but when we're in one spot, we don't really want all wet towels and stuff hanging inside. So this has been really great for that. We've also mounted a sensor light, so if we have all this open at night, if we open up the back door or come around to look into the drawers, it's been super handy. It only turns on at night when it's dark, and that gives plenty of light to see into these drawers, which is so awesome. The final thing that I'll go over here in the back is our beautiful fan. It is a Sirocco fan. I'm pretty sure it is the fan of VanLifers. Some friends of ours recommended it from Drive on the Wild Side. They recommended it. It's a full 360-degree fan. It's 12-volt fan, sorry, and it pumps out so much air. It is great. It is so great. The only issue is, and we really had nowhere else to put it, because this was an old power point in our old van, so there was already cables around here, so it made it really easy to put more cables through. The only issue is Chris sleeps here. So imagine your head's here, the fan is there. It's quite easy to knock your head on it. So he's had a couple of head knocks. We do tilt it out of the way for him, so it goes up more here and to the side, but yeah, he still has had a couple of head knocks. Our little agreement was that he had the fan because I had the slightly shorter side of the bed, so it was a little give and take, but otherwise it's been great. Oh, actually, one final thing that Chris didn't really get to show you when he was doing the toiletry cabinet is on this side here. I just wanted a little luxury of mine, is I wanted somewhere to put my jewelry, so this has worked great. I've just put a couple of little right angle hooks off the side of the toiletry cabinet, and that's just where I can hold like my necklaces, bracelets, earrings and stuff like that, and it's been really super handy. But yeah, that's the back of the van.
So this is just a little gas area on the side here. So I've got two 2-litre bottles down here, just held in by a little bit of flat bar that's been rounded out to fit the profile of the bottle. And what we've also got down here is this is where our shower head and the water outlet lives for our little outdoor shower. So that just comes out, we just pop it up into there. We've got a little outdoor shower head just there. Just turn on a little tap in here, and then away we go, running water. How good. So we wanted to keep the 80s vibe alive in Huey, so we tried to keep the front relatively untouched. Only thing that we've really added is some cup holders so that we can have somewhere to put some coffee and some drinks while we're driving, and just a Huey boom up on the dash for some tunes. The other thing that we've thrown in up the front here, bit of inspiration from another guy, Jennifer Vaniston. It's just a hat holder. Got it off eBay. It's to hold an Inverter for a farmer, but obviously it'll hold any hat, so we've tossed one in up there. Behind the seats, got to make the most of our storage, obviously. So we store all of the poles and everything like that, all the structure for the awning that comes off the side of the van. We store some skateboards and stuff for when we want to go for a bit of a cruise. And there's some leather pouches here that we got made up from a lady on VanLife Australia. Super handy. Just screw them into the backsplash here, and that's where we store shopping bags. We've got some documents behind this passenger seat here, and then behind the front seat here we just keep some stuff like our jumper leads and stuff like that if we ever get into a bit of a pickle. So that all just stores away up the back here, just like that.
So thank you for watching our little van tour vlog, and welcome to the travels of Modern Chris. I think The next vlog that we'll be posting will be us going through the Daintree Daintree Forest.
Daintree Rainforest.
Daintree Rainforest up in far north Queensland, and it was incredible. So
So nice.
stay tuned for next week's vlog. Bye.
Bye bye.